Hey guys, so we're back again with another reading, and I wanted to show you guys a quick overview of how I set my space, clear the energy to prepare to give you guys a reading. And I also wanted to mention that today's reading is sponsored by Keen. So Keen is considered the best in the business, the most recognized name in psychic readings for a reason. And that's because they do an amazing job of vetting all their advisors, so you really know you're talking to someone with a genuine gift. Whether you want to talk to a tarot reader, clairvoyant, medium, they have all different kinds of options. They also have all different kinds of price ranges, and everything's very transparent. All the prices are listed up front. You can also preset the amount of time you want to spend, so you don't have to worry about going over your time or about spending too much. Again, like I said, all these things are very above board, and you can see exactly what you're getting into. For me, I tried talking to a few different advisors before I settled on mine. She's kind of an older Southern woman with a definite Southern accent, but we just really vibe. And for me, I highly recommend talking to a few different people until you settle on that person that you just really click with. And I have heard some really specific things through Keen, definite timelines for career that ended up coming true, and things that happened with family as well. So it's been really incredible getting that guidance and also knowing that I can access it anytime, because the great thing is if you're having a late night and you're stressed out about something, or an early morning and you want to set the intentions for the day, whenever you want to call or on your lunch break, whatever, you can always have access to a, like I said, vetted advisor who can give you specific answers for whatever your question is. So I definitely recommend giving it a shot. The deal they're running right now is absolutely incredible. I don't really know how they do it, but I appreciate it. So go to the link in my description, trykeen.com/Briar, or you can type it into the URL. That's trykeen.com/Briar, and get that deal, because it really is pretty incredible. And I know you guys are going to absolutely love it. So with that being said, today's reading is all about how do strangers view you? So what are their first impressions of you when they first meet you or run across you? What are they thinking when they see you across the room, or when they first talk to you and don't know you very well? What are they thinking about? What are their thoughts? We're going to get into all of it. And for today, we have a beautiful selection of purple cakes for you guys to choose from. If it's your first picket card reading, you want to go towards the one your energy is feeling called to and drawn to. So don't overthink it too much or get in your head too much. Just kind of go with that first instinct, and that will be the pile with the message for you. I'm going to throw the numbers up on the screen in just a moment of each of the piles, but I also want to mention to you guys that I do have my Patreon up with a ton of additional readings. I just posted an extended version of how do they think of you, so it's a great one for a twin flame ex romantic partner if you want to kind of get into their head, and we get a lot deeper, get some messages from their higher selves. And I also posted just a few days before that, what is the gossip about you? So that's a fun, juicy one. And upcoming very soon will be what are your dreams trying to tell you? So we have a ton of content over there, over 25 extra readings, and you'll get access to all of them if you sign up for my Patreon, link in my description for that. And if you want a private one-on-one tarot reading with me, you can also get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. And I will just pull cards specifically for you and your situation if that's something you're interested in. So with all that being said, I am going to put the numbers up on the screen, and if you guys need more time to decide, you can totally feel free to rewind, pause, and take as much time as you guys need. But we are going to go ahead and jump into pile one. Hey, pile one, so if you guys picked this purple cake with sprinkles on the side, this is going to be your reading. So like I said, there's some beautiful multicolored sprinkles decorating this cake. It might be funfetti flavored, one of my favorite cake flavors. Then on the top, there's a beautiful purple mirror glaze frosting decorating it, as well as some piped on vanilla frosting, really artfully decorated, and a giant juicy looking cherry in the middle. It looks so perfect for a birthday party, or maybe even for a really fancy tea party. It looks delicious. So let's get right into your tarot. So you guys got the 10 of Cups, 6 of Swords, 2 of Wands, the Chariot, Page of Swords, Strength, the Ace of Wands, and the Four of Cups. And just a quick note, if you guys want more clarity on this issue, then check out today's sponsor, Keen. They have amazing psychic advisors and readers that can give you more clarification on this issue or any issue you guys want to call in about, and the link is in my description for that. So you guys probably seem pretty sympathetic and nice when people first meet you. I feel like you guys in this pile might have strangers telling you all of their business, and as soon as they meet you, they want to tell you everything. They feel like they already know you. They feel like they can trust you. And I feel like you will just have a lot of people kind of sharing very personal things with you where you're like, oh, okay, well, I'm glad I know all about your divorce. Here's your change from checking you out in the grocery store. Like, it feels like people just, as soon as they know you or meet you, they get this very sympathetic, emotional impression from you guys. Another thing that I'm hearing in my mind is you're not from around here. So something where you might seem like someone who has moved a lot, or someone who is fresh and new to the area, or just seems kind of different. I feel like some of you guys, you grew up somewhere else and maybe you live somewhere where that vibe comes out, or there's something about you that stands out from the crowd, and you seem like someone who's always on to something fresh and new and excited for a new start, because there's a lot of energy here about you guys having left something behind or starting on a new endeavor. So maybe that's just a temporary energy that's hanging around you guys, is that you give off the impression that you're going to be moving soon, or people can just subconsciously tell that you are kicking off a new era in your life, but that's something that they are majorly bringing up. And I feel like a lot of you guys give off a kind of resiliency that you'll see with people who might have moved around a lot as a kid, or just the kind of person who's kind of adventurous, who's always like, oh, well, I grew up here, but now I live across the world, or I have lived in all these different places and I'm always traveling, or I'm always exploring, or something about you guys just seeming strong and tough, and like someone who has gone through different things but is always moving on, is always keeping their kind of chin up and being tough and resilient. So there's an interesting mix between that 10 of Cups energy, and I feel like you guys seeming quite nurturing and loving, and people getting a vibe from you that they can really trust you and they really like you. I feel like you guys are quite charming, and honestly, it seems to me that you guys would make friends easily. Some of you guys might not have a ton of friends, but I feel like Spirit is saying that's because you guys choose not to have those people as friends, but like you have a lot of options. I feel like people like you, even if you don't want to make it that deep with them. And you're like, oh, yeah, they're friendly, but we get along, we're acquaintances, but I don't consider them a close friend. It's like these people really do like you, and I feel like a lot of people who are just meeting you get a vibe of, oh, this person's trustworthy, they seem nice, and almost like you might seem too nice at times. Some people might have taken you as like an easy mark, as like someone that, you know, oh, this person will be really sympathetic, so I can ask them for money, or I can ask them for this for me. Or you might find people who kind of take you to be like a little bit of a pushover when they first meet you. And I'm not saying that's accurate, because I see the Strength card here. So I feel like a lot of you guys are not pushovers at all in the Chariot, but when they first meet you, they might think you're so nice, and just based on their kind of lack of morality, they might take that as like, so I bet I could get them to do this, or I could get this from them. But I think over time, as people get to know you, they see more of that resilience and that toughness. Yeah, I feel like a lot of you guys seem like someone who's also very attractive. A lot of people are attracted to you. We did get the Ace of Wands, and my other tarot readers will know what that card means. It is a card of a lot of attraction, and also the Strength card. So I feel like you guys look good and kind of strong. There's something, I want to say, hardy about you guys, like where you don't seem to me in this pile like you just seem like you look in really good health, if that makes sense. So however that looks on your body and your bone structure and everything, I feel like you just look healthy and strong, and like you are kind of resilient. You might have like broad shoulders, or just strong bone structure, or healthy, really vibrant long hair or something. But it feels like you just look like the picture of health. Like people just look at you. They might even think you're like an athlete or something, even if you're not. They might get a vibe of you of like, oh, I bet this person plays sports, or like, what sports do you play, or what do you work out? What do you do? And you're like, I don't do anything. I just Only workout I do is like lifting my fork to my mouth, and that's about it. But I feel like you just naturally have a vibe. Maybe you eat healthy or you're just naturally healthy, but people get a vibe from you that you're attractive, healthy. I'm seeing rosy cheeks. Some of you guys get really rosy cheeks, and that can be kind of a picture of health, at least according to my grandmother, who would always tell me I need to put some color back in my cheeks if I like was stressed at college and not eating enough. I feel like you have that look of health, like rosy cheeks, just kind of strong, energetic, that kind of vibe. And I feel like a lot of people honestly get a really good impression of you when they first meet you, and when you're a stranger, it's like you come in with a lot of vital life force. And this Ace of Wands energy can talk about that for sure, where someone just has, it kind of comes through as a burst of energy, kind of comes through as just like fresh. And this might be why we're getting kind of this leaving energy that I was talking about, where sometimes some people might think of you as kind of disruptive, even like, oh, this person, they might even be a little threatened by you, because I feel like you just seem like you do things your own way. You march to the beat of your own drum. And again, you're coming in with a lot of energy. I almost feel like someone who's like in a stagnant energy, someone who is set in their ways and just they think there's one way to do things. When you come in, you probably don't even have to say anything. There's just something kind of different about you. Like probably you can't even control it. You might have prominent Uranus or Aquarius in your chart. But I feel like there's something about you where people kind of, there's disruption happening, there's transformation happening. You kind of come in and like are that person who has a fresh perspective. So maybe they're like, oh, well, we always have done things this way. And you're that person who would be like, but why? Or like, but we could do it this way, it'd be much easier. And there's people that just get that vibe from you, even with how you dress or how you just initial energy, where maybe someone's like, oh, well, you're like, walking into a store and you're like, where's the fruit? And they're like, oh, that's by the back around the corner. And you're like, oh, well, have you guys ever thought about putting it up front and putting the candy in the back? Maybe that's a little healthier or something. You know, some little question that you're not trying to be like rude, but I feel like it like offends people sometimes, because almost like you guys are very on point in how you think about things. You're very fresh minded, you're very open minded. And so because you have this great perspective on things, I feel like people take that personally, where they are like, oh, so they're attacking me, so my story isn't good enough, so you think you're better, you think you're smarter than me. And you're like, I just literally walked in. It might even be something about you guys having different colored hair or dressing a little differently or sticking out in some way, where someone might like take offense, I'm seeing, at your outfit. Maybe you guys just dress up or dress really well, but I feel like people will get offended when you walk into the room, because I do think you do make a good impression. And I feel like you guys in this pile get a lot of crazy reactions towards you, where people are like either really like you or get really mad and will try to like talk behind your back or try to say nasty things about you, because I feel like there's a almost aspirational vibe about you. Like you seem like you have a nice life, you seem like you look nice, you probably are well spoken to a certain extent. You come in with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of positive energy, and because of that, a lot of people are drawn to you. And then because people are drawn to you, there's the jealousy. So it's like in a way, it's a blessing and a curse, I guess, that people like your energy, they find you sympathetic, they find you attractive. And I feel like sometimes people just, I keep seeing someone be surprised and kind of be a little bit in shock. So there's something about you that I feel like is a little bit unexpected. And I do think for some of you guys, it's just that you're like more attractive than the average person. And people are kind of like, oh yeah, there's some girl coming to the party. Yeah, I think she's coming with Lisa, but I don't know. I don't know too much about her. And then you like walk in and you're beautiful and people are like, oh my God, okay, so let me go clean up the beer cans that are on the floor. You know what I mean? So something where you guys come in and disrupt things, and the good people like are excited to know you. You might even feel like you sometimes have friends that feel like fans, where they like are really into you and everything you do, they kind of want to like copy you, or they just like are over the top with you, where you're like, I just kind of met you. That's so nice that you're complimenting me all night, but like, I just don't know you that well. But it's so nice of you. But there might be that kind of vibe sometimes. And then a vibe with people like hating, and the low vibrational people that get envious or jealous are going to be, you know, mad about that. But let's get some astro dice as well. So we got the moon, we got Scorpio, and we got the ninth house. Wow, that makes so much sense for you guys. And I was almost going to mention Scorpio because it is ruled by Pluto, planet of transformation. And that's the other sign that can seem very transformative, and it certainly can have a like really intense effect on people. And I think Aquarius, because it's ruled by Uranus, planet of change, has more of like that disruptive energy, but Pluto is more like transformation, if that makes sense. So Pluto is more like you'll come in at first and maybe vibe, but then you start kind of pointing things out, and Pluto will like hide their intentions at first, but then they'll be like, you probably should do that different. And so I feel like people get this vibe from you where they are kind of intimidated by you because they know that you're very perceptive, you're very intelligent. We also got the Page of Swords. So just I feel like you guys have an intelligent look in your eyes, you just have an intelligent vibe to you. You're probably very curious and talkative and ask a lot of questions. And so people can tell that you're kind of seeing through them, because that's what Pluto is it's penetrative in the way of looking through someone and really seeing down to the core. So that's Scorpio energy. And I feel like you guys do that. You really see through and get down deep. And so someone might be like, well, no, I'm fine. But you can tell that they're upset, or you can tell that the relationship with someone's boyfriend is off. And, you might have friends that react badly to that, or people who just meet you that are like, get this person away from me. I don't want them to see my shadows. Even if you just met them, you could have that psychic ability like a Scorpio or a Cancer to see right through them. And we do have the moon energy. So like I was saying, a lot of people actually, I feel, would tell you their problems. You have a very sweet, nurturing quality to you that is moon energy, which is also mothering energy. And you guys definitely give off that vibe. I do feel like you guys would have lost souls kind of come to you, not meaning that in a rude way or anything, but just people that might be going through a lot that you might find they just end up dumping everything on you. And you're like, hello, it's so nice to meet you. I'm glad I know about, the affair you're having with your coworker at work. Okay, cool. We're just going to talk about that right away. I talked to you for 30 seconds, but okay. Because I feel like you have an understanding vibe and people know you're not going to judge them. They know that you're open-minded. There's that definite Aquarian open-mindedness coming through over and over, where you're not judgmental. You are not kind of rigid about like things should look like this. You're very like whatever works. So I feel like there's people that might believe that there's one way to do things in this world that might not react so well to that. And again, this energy of being open-minded and smart comes through with Sagittarius, which rules the ninth house, which also rules travel, and also education, philosophy. So a lot of you guys come off as intelligent, educated, and like I was saying, either new to the area, different, you're not from there, you come off as somehow different from wherever you live or the people you're interacting with. Like they just see you as different. They just see you as either from somewhere else. Maybe you are from some area that's very different from the area you live. Like maybe you're from New York and now you live in the deep south or something, and everyone's just like, oh, this person's not from here, or vice versa. You live in New York and you're from the deep south. But I feel like there's something that just seems different, or you're from a different country, or you just give off that vibe of like, wow, this person's really sophisticated. They probably traveled a lot. They probably know a lot. They have a lot of this deep knowledge. They're highly intelligent. And again, Page of Swords energy is very talkative. It is very kind of mentally restless and curious and can ask a lot of questions. And it also can relate to having a talent for like speaking or public speaking of some kind. So maybe you guys would be gifted as somehow doing public speaking or public communication, and maybe people get that vibe because again, I feel like you guys are attractive, and I'm seeing like a news anchor or something. I feel like you have that quality of being very composed, that you could have gone into like being an anchor for the news or for a TV host or something. You just have that, they all kind of have that same energy where they're all attractive physically and they look kind of together, like they look competent. I don't know how to describe it, but they just look like they wake up in the morning and have like a healthy breakfast and they just have their life figured out, kind of, you know what I mean? And then they're also like good at talking and stuff. I feel like you guys give off that energy of someone that is charismatic and not really a clown and, just kind of has their life in order, if that makes sense. And so again, I feel like that might bring out the judgment from others. So let me get some of these cards. So Spirit, what can you tell us about pile 1? How do people perceive them? Okay, so we got the Ice Queen, ideas preserved, non-action, entitlement, and the Diamond Dreamer, material wealth, true prosperity. So there is a wealthy luxury vibe going on around you guys, which makes a lot of sense because I feel like you guys dress well. As I mentioned, I feel like you look good, and I do feel like I'm picking up on some jealousy, or you walking in and people kind of staring, or people being like, oh, so they're fancy, or oh, so they think they're better than us. And I don't know if it's just because of your natural looks, bone structure, overall vibe, or it could be how you're dressing. Or you could be one of those people that just gives off like a high-end energy where you could be walking around in like a, you know, a potato sack, and you'd still be looking really good, and people would still be like, oh, they look kind of fancy, they look bougie. Is that the new trend, potato sacks? But yeah, I feel like you guys, you make a good impression, but there's that intimidation. And you know, that comes through with Ice Queen too, is like a lot of people see you as, maybe at first they might even get an impression, or they might tell you something like, when I first met you, I was really intimidated by you, or I thought you were a mean person, or I thought you wouldn't be nice to me. I feel like there's so many people that see you as a stranger and would love to talk to you, and like see you like walking across the street or something and think, oh, that person looks really cool, that person looks really chic, or that person, like, I wonder what their story is. I feel like you really catch people's eye and their attention, and they want to know more about you. You intrigue them, you have their attention. But then it's like, obviously that moment passes, or maybe they see you across the room at a party and you seem really nice to your friends, and you seem like you're very popular, and people like would love to be on the receiving end of that. But there may be a vibe where like they get in their own head and they're like, she probably wouldn't want to talk to me. Look at her, she's talking to all those people, she's probably really mean, she's probably a mean girl, she has so many friends around her. You know what I mean? I feel like there's people that project this whole kind of intense story on you, where maybe sometimes there's this curiosity, but then they kind of chicken out, and then they let it turn into like simmering resentment, and they assume that like you're ignoring them or something, when you're not even doing that at all. You're minding your business. So yeah, I think a lot of people really do respect you, like you, get a good impression of you, but then I think there's a lot of that kind of intimidation coming through. Let me get some more cards from that deck, because I love this deck for these kinds of questions. So we got the Queen of the Light, illumination, enlightenment. What does that say? Celebration. Okay, so yeah, I feel like you guys are also fun at parties and stuff, where you seem like the life of the party. You seem like excitable, energetic. You seem like someone that, if they invite you, you're not going to be like sitting alone in the corner just by yourself and just kind of in your head. You're probably going to be talking to people. You're probably going to be keeping that conversation flowing. You probably have interesting stories to tell. And I feel like just your appearance is like, you add to the party, you add to the vibe, because you guys look really good, to be honest. I'm hearing that line from A$AP Rocky, peso, just to kick it is a blessing. So I feel like when you are at the party, people know that it's going to be a good one, or people feel like, oh, this is a really cool scene. Like, this person's there, they look really good. You know, they have a good vibe, and they just, there's something kind of, I want to say, exclusive about you guys, where if you're showing up, you just seem like you wouldn't show up to just anywhere. You don't seem like you would just roll up to like some backyard barbecue that like is completely whack and like nothing going on. You would probably leave in like 5 minutes if you didn't like it. Or at least people feel that way. They feel like you have an exclusive energy to you, and you seem kind of, some of you guys, maybe this is what I'm picking up on, where you seem like you're not from here. Some of you guys give off a vibe that you should be at like a very sophisticated type of place. Like, if you are not, maybe if you live in like New York or LA or London or Paris or a major city, you fit in. But in a lot of smaller towns, you might come off as like, what is this person even doing here? They should be at some sophisticated place. Or you seem like you grew up with a lot of money, or you seem like you just are sophisticated into like modern art and artistic stuff and fashion, and you're not wearing like yesterday's clothes. There's just something kind of fashionable and chic about you, where when you're at a place that's not that way themselves, when you're at a place it's just like a normal regular old party with like some ranch dip and, you know, like, at least that's how some parties can be in America, just kind of casual. People are like, oh my God, what is this person doing here? Kind of like I've mentioned this before, like kind of like, you know, if Rihanna rolled up to a function or Megan Fox or something, you know, people wouldn't be that friendly. A lot of people would be like, oh my God, why is she here? Why is she dressed like that? She looks crazy. Because it's like there's a lot of jealousy, you know, people don't want to acknowledge when someone looks good. So you might get some pushback from people sometimes, but I feel like you guys might fit in a little bit better in bigger cities and stuff like that. I'm going to shuffle from this deck next. So I already pre-pulled one card, and it is Daffodil Fairy, New Beginnings, which is not a surprise. Same energy we've been getting with that Sagittarius travel vibe, but let's get more cards for pile one. So we got Wizard of the Woods, Focus. What can you tell me about pile one's energy, Spirit? Mystic Meadow, Sanctuary. I just heard that some animals are really drawn to you. That might even create some jealousy in like pet owners where, like, you know, they'll say something like, oh, my dog hates everyone or whatever. And then the dog's like running over to you and wants to hang out with you. And the pet owner might be like, excuse me? Like, you might get in their feels a little bit. Some of them might be really happy about that, but some of them might be like, oh, well, okay. I guess you're going to go talk to her then. Like, so again, I feel like you guys do stir up a little something, a little jealousy in others and stuff like that, because I feel like you are really good at, or like animals feel very drawn to you. Also, I feel like you guys do kind of like minor therapy work for people, like because you're so understanding and because you have this depth of knowledge that when someone's talking to you, you probably end up giving them advice, or just, like I said, I feel like you're that person that even in a 30-second interaction at like a store with like a cashier, they would end up telling you like, well, my boyfriend broke up with me and I'm really upset or whatever. And you end up comforting them or being like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, as they're like bagging up your eggs, and you're like, why does this happen to me every time I go to the store? Or like you end up talking with your Uber driver about something, you know, or like it gets really deep with you and they end up really pouring their heart out. And I feel like you guys give people a lot of advice, so they kind of trust you. There's a kind of angelic energy around you guys as well. Yeah, there's a lot of sweetness coming through. So we're also going to shuffle from this deck to find out what kind of vibe did pile one give off for, that came out reversed, for strangers and stuff. How do they appear to strangers? Okay, so all these are reversed, so I'm going to read them upright then. I'm probably shuffling upside down. Dust Devil, moving out of stagnation. In the hand, the universe is your partner. Empty well, time to replenish. Wow. So I think that's kind of you. You're kind of like this dust devil that comes in to move people out of their stagnation. You are that person, I think, that like would be like, if someone's like, well, you know, I'm stuck at my job, or like I have to do this all day, or you know, I have to do this. You'd be that person that would be like, why? Why do you have to do that? What do you mean have to? And you have that energy to kind of blast them out of it. And I feel like that happens even when you are around a stranger or someone you don't know well, or you haven't even talked to. Just the way they see you carrying yourself around, they might be like, wow, there's just something about you that's disruptive and that's special and that people notice at you out of a crowd. And I feel like it's kind of inspiring to them. Maybe they see you as like a young woman, but you have your own money, or you seem like you have your own money even if you don't, or you seem very independent. You seem very, yeah, that's a good word for you guys, independent. You seem very bold, and you seem like you're marching to the beat of your own drum. And so I feel like there's people that might be like, oh, I could never wear that, or I have to dress this way, I have to wear my hair like that. And they see you doing something really different with your hair, and then they're like, you know what, maybe I could actually quit my job. You know, like I feel like it causes like this chain reaction of dominoes with people seeing you live your life in your independent way and realizing that they have that opportunity too. A lot of you guys also might give off a kind of witchy vibe, like you might seem a little esoteric or like you're into witchy stuff. I just heard that some of you guys have really cute fingernails, so you know, maybe, yeah, I love that for you guys. Love the kind of bold fingernail club that we're in. So I feel like a lot of you guys might do cool stuff with your nails or something like that. But I feel like you present in a very cool, kind of funky, different type of way. And a lot of people see you as having this kind of bravery. Like, I feel like even when they don't talk to you, brave is a great word for it. You're very brave, you're very bold, you're very unafraid. And this is where I think at first people might underestimate you because they're like, oh, they're really nice, so they're probably a weakling. And that's their own projection. And then they kind of realize, like, oh, dang, no, they're not afraid of anything. They're really bold. They go after what they want. They have their own independence and they're not afraid at all. So let me shuffle some final cards from this deck for you guys. It's upside down. So we got empowerment. Yes, life purpose. Finding. I think you've helped people find their life purpose. Manifestation and confidence. Wow, I love this vibe. This is exactly what I was picking up on, is like, I feel like a lot of you guys, I think you inspire people to live their best life. I think people see you and you seem genuinely happy, excited about life, excited about things. And I just noticed that when I was moving these, they flipped over into the 5th house and Pisces. So that's Leo energy. And I am picking up on some Leo energy, that people are drawn to you, that you are just naturally the center of attention. And that Pisces soothing, understanding, kind of loving vibe as well coming through. So I feel like you really just seem like someone who is on a great track and someone who is empowered, does their own thing, isn't afraid of what other people think, and is quite powerful, if I'm being honest. Like, I feel like a lot of people really respect how you live your life, really respect how you carry yourself. They spot you in a crowd, you stand out in a crowd, and they're very curious. They want to know more. You have their attention, you know? And so I feel like people just really, you kind of capture their imagination. They might even write, you might even have had strangers write like songs about you, or write poems about you, or write a book about you. Like, I feel like you just stay in people's minds and they can't stop thinking about you. When they meet you, they're like, who was that girl at the market today? Like, she was so pretty, or she just seemed so different, like just like a shooting star out of the sky, you know, someone who just is so memorable and noteworthy and just seems so outside the box. And so people really love that about you guys. And I think you really do have this special quality that really inspires a lot of people. So if you guys want more clarity on this situation, then check out the link in my description for Keen and get a one-on-one reading with one of their advisors. That's such an amazing deal they're running, and they have such a powerful team of advisors over there. So you definitely don't want to miss it. Like I said, link is in my description for that. Pile 1, I really hope it resonated. Let me know if it did in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. So let me know your thoughts, and make sure you guys are subscribed and have notifications on so you can find out as soon as I post. And of course, you guys should check out my Patreon, where I post all my additional readings. And I posted an extended reading just a little while ago, and I also posted for what do they think of you, and I just posted before that what the gossip is about you. So this would be an interesting one for Pile 1, because I'm sure there's a lot of gossip about you guys, because I feel like you are center of attention energy, and there are some haters we picked up on, but that's okay. So we get to the bottom of that in the what is the gossip about you reading, and get a lot of juicy details for you guys. So check that out over at my Patreon if you want to join us over there. There's so much content. And if you want a private one-on-one reading with me, where I focus entirely on your situation and just pull cards specifically for you, you can also get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com, and get a one-on-one time with me, and we can tune into whatever you want. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll be back very soon for another reading. And so I will see you guys then. Sending you lots of love and light. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey, pile two. So if you guys picked this cube shaped dessert, this is going to be your reading. So on the top, there's three juicy looking blueberries decorating it, as well as a blueberry glaze dripping down the sides. And they did a ton of detail on the glaze. There's little specks of blueberry pulp within it. So it's really realistic. To me, this looks like it's a slice of cheesecake. It looks really buttery, soft, and delicious. And there's also a little sprig of green, probably mint because that works with desserts, but it just looks so good and scrumptious. But let's get right into your tarot. So you guys got King of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, 10 of Wands, 5 of Wands, 6 of Wands, and the Justice card. And just a quick note, if you guys want more clarity on this issue, then check out today's sponsor, Keen. They have amazing psychic advisors and readers that can give you more clarification on this issue or any issue you guys want to call in about, and the link is in my description for that. So I think it's safe to say with all this wand energy that people find you quite intimidating when they first meet you. You guys might be a Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius, or you just might have a lot of that in your chart. But I think the energy that's coming through is that people are intimidated by you. They might feel like you have a resting witch face a little bit, where you might come off a little stony or not open, or like, oh, this person, I feel like people would just kind of know that you can hold your own in conflict. They probably wouldn't want to start stuff with you because you seem very competent, you seem very intelligent with the Queen of Swords coming out over Justice. So I feel like you guys just seem like you know your stuff, and a lot of people when they first meet you are like, wow, okay, I'm not going to mess around with this person. I'm not going to start drama with them. I'm going to try to kind of mind my business because they are highly intelligent and I feel like they can handle themselves. They feel like they are the kind of person who gets things done, manages things. Maybe people assume that you also have a lot of money with the Queen of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles, or that you're at a very high position in your job. You guys might have to dress in a professional manner at all times or something like that, where you're walking around town in a suit, or people are just assuming like with the way you carry yourself that you seem very efficient. I feel like some of you guys in this pile probably walk quite fast. You're goal oriented. Like when you're walking, you just seem like you're not just like ambling around and smelling the flowers. You seem like you are going in for the kill and kind of like going after whatever it is. So if you have to walk to like a doctor's appointment, you're going to be speeding down the road and walking quickly and looking very efficient about that. So I feel like a lot of people are intimidated by you, and there is an energy of kind of all eyes on you or other people being aware of you. So people might assume that you do have, I don't know, stuff to do, or that maybe you are the center of attention in some way. You might present yourself quite well and being very attractive too, very sexually attractive to people with that King of Wands coming out. So a lot of people, I feel, I'm seeing like a high level businesswoman, or you know how at the end of Devil Wears Prada, like the girl, I don't know her name, but Anne Hathaway's character, how she starts out like really mousy and unsure of herself, and by the end she's just walking around in designer outfits and she's looking like she knows exactly where she's going, and she looks like styled well head to toe. And if you saw the girl at the beginning of the movie, you'd probably be like, oh, she's new here and she just looks so lost. But by the end you'd be like, oh my god, let me get out of the way for this woman. She looks very high end, and like she's just going somewhere important, and like she has important things to be up to. And I feel like that's definitely a bit of a vibe that you guys give off. So I do feel like you might have less of some of the nonsense of people like starting fights with you or starting drama with you, because you do seem like you can handle yourself. And I feel like people are intimidated a little bit of your power. I'm seeing some of you guys have curly hair. And it's really beautiful, something about ringlets or something like that. But it's really, really beautiful the way you carry your hair. And you just seem like someone that a lot of people would almost like clear the way for. Like I'm seeing someone walking through and like people are moving to the side to let them through. So I feel like, I don't want to say people are scared of you, but maybe a little bit. Maybe some people are just, maybe intimidated is the word, where they definitely perceive you as someone who's powerful, as someone who's very smart, and as someone who's a go-getter and is probably going to accomplish a lot in this life. And that's just first impressions of like talking to you. But I feel like yeah, you seem like someone that if like someone was checking you out as a cashier, they might get like nervous and be like, I hope I don't mess this up, because you just seem, I don't know, smart, on point, and like you would notice if they overcharged you for an item, you would actually see it on the receipt. You would like check and be like, oh, sorry, that said it was on sale. Like nothing gets past you. You know what I mean? You guys are smart, you're on point, and all of that. I want to get some astro dice for pile 2. Spirit, can you give us some clarity for the energies for pile 2? So we got Pisces, we got the North Node, and we got the 11th house. So Pisces, Aquarius, and the North Node. So with the 11th house, Aquarius can be kind of emotionally removed and a little bit distant from people. It can have a lot of friends. People might perceive you as having a lot of friends, and maybe this is where the intimidation comes through, is you just seem like someone that knows how to handle yourself socially, or it might even be something like having a public platform with the 6 of Wands. So it might be a vibe that people just assume like you have a really popping off Instagram, or like you have a YouTube account, or people think that you have some kind of TikTok or some kind of platform that you're using. It might be like people ask you questions like, wait, are you the girl from Instagram? And you're like, huh? Like, no, I'm not. But I feel like people just might assume that you're doing something like that. You might just give off that energy of someone who would be that type of person that if you wanted to make like an Instagram fashion account, that it would do really well, and that you just seem like you have that kind of entrepreneurial vibe of like someone who's independent, kind of free thinking with that Aquarius energy, someone who kind of marches to the beat of their own drum. And with the node, that might be part of your destiny. Maybe this is why people are intimidated by you, is like you just seem like you have a really strong, like going for it type of destiny. And I also feel like you guys feel like you get excited about things, and like you care. Like you're not just someone that is going to sit on the sidelines kind of idly and just watch things pass by and just be kind of in your head all the time. I feel like you seem like someone who cares about things, and like you would speak up if someone was talking rudely to someone, or if someone wanted to start some conflict, you would be like, oh, excuse you, how dare you talk to that person that way? Like I just feel like seem like someone who would check others, and definitely people are intimidated. We also have Pisces. Pisces can be very creative, kind of dreamy, head in the clouds, very psychic. I feel like a lot of you guys are highly intuitive in this pile. So people, maybe that's also where the intimidation comes in, is this sense of intimidation, this sense of this person can see right through me and they know exactly what I'm up to, and maybe if I was doing something shady before, I'm going to stop. Like maybe if I was this cashier, I don't know why I keep bringing up cashiers, but who was kind of slacking off on the job, that like you would notice, you would be that perceptive. I am getting kind of a Scorpio vibe with you guys though as well, more so than Pisces. But let me spin the astro dice again and see what other signs come up. Spirit, can you give us clarity for pile 2? So we got Gemini, we got Neptune, so it must be Pisces. And then we got the 4th house, which is Cancer. So that's really interesting because we don't have any cups energy here, but we have a lot of water energy coming through in the dice. So like I said, water signs are very perceptive, very intuitive, and they can seem kind of otherworldly. They can have that quality of water that just seems like they do seem like they're here, but they're kind of on the astral plane, and they can seem kind of very different. Like when you meet a Pisces or a Scorpio or a Cancer, they can have a dreamy kind of look in their eyes and just seem almost watery to them. And so I feel like some of you guys, you just seem very different. Like you don't seem like you go along with the crowd. You seem like you kind of float above it and see through a lot of things. Then we have Gemini, and Gemini is an air sign and ruled by Mercury. It relates to the 3rd house, and I feel like a lot of you guys have this really incredible speaking ability. We got the Queen of Swords, so you're very smart. I think you guys make a really good impression on most people, if I'm being honest, because we got it next to the Queen of Pentacles. So a lot of people see you as someone who I feel like is very put together, looks on point, acts on point, talks on point. You're not someone who's going to make a fool of yourself and kind of be acting like a clown. I feel you are a little bit composed and together, and I feel like you would check someone verbally if they went out of line, but you wouldn't do it in a way where you're like losing your cool and sounding like a fool and randomly like starting a fight that you can't win. I feel like you would be very smart about like how you lay out your arguments, and you would be like the kind of person who notices everything and was like, if they lie or they say like something that didn't happen, you would be like, no, actually at exactly 12:47 p.m. you said this. So a lot of people, I feel, when they first meet you, they're just like, oh, this person's very competent, they're very smart, they're very intelligent, and like I'm just gonna try to be as on point as I can for them. So we also got, I pre-shuffled these two cards. So we got Air Spirit Knowledge and Toadstool's Growth. So some of you guys might just be physically tall with that Toadstool's Growth, or just have a very kind of narrow line to your body, or like seem, you know, those people who just have long limbs, even if they're like short, they might just have that kind of limbs are long, and yeah, they might look taller than they are in photos, and then someone might take a photo of them with someone else and someone's like, oh, I didn't know you were that short. But I feel like a lot of you guys have a kind of graceful line to your body, and Aquarius can talk about that as well, that Mercury energy as well. So we got that too coming through with Air Spirit. So a lot of you guys have that mercurial quality of being very noticing everything, seeing everything. I feel like a lot of you guys also have a great wit and sense of humor that Aquarius, why do I keep saying Aquarius? That Mercury placements have, Gemini and Virgo. So a lot of you guys are probably quite good with your words, and you might like joke with someone as a stranger, like just like make a little random joke, but it really makes them laugh. It really like stays with them. So I feel like people, like you might have interactions with strangers where they kind of replay, like if you said something funny to them. Like I'm thinking of this one time when I was leaving a grocery store, and you know how the alarm sometimes will randomly go off, and I kind of paused to be like, I just checked out, I'm not taking anything. And the guy was like, he was like, this guy who was coming in was like, oh no, they caught you. And he said it in a really joking way. And it honestly really made me laugh. And even now, I know it's such a stupid little joke, but it still makes me laugh just like the way he said it. And it was just kind of funny, and took also like the tension out of the moment. And then I was like, okay, everyone knows I didn't take anything, so I just left, you know, and I didn't take anything, by the way. But but you know how sometimes those alarms are just going off at the grocery store, and it is a little embarrassing. And he kind of took the pressure out of the moment, even though I know it's not a big deal and it happens all the time. But I feel like some of you guys tell jokes like that or something, where you would just know exactly what to say in a given situation, and just have that quick wit to know how to handle anything right in that moment. And a lot of people might like replay that, even if they don't know you and they're not your friend. They might just think of you and kind of laugh back of like, oh, I remember when that stranger said that. So let me get some more cards from this deck. Spirit, can you give us more clarity for pile 2? How do strangers perceive pile 2? So we got Pegasus transcending and Spirit Guardian of Autumn letting go. I feel like there's kind of a very, I want to say solo quality to you, where you seem like someone who doesn't need necessarily the approval of others. Like there's a real inner strength and a really strong inner kind of, I don't want to say hermit quality, but a little bit, where you're very self-reliant, you're very strong, you're kind of tough. And I feel like people can tell that you're not a needy person who's looking for anyone's approval or really cares what other people think of you. I feel like you just come off like someone who manages their own emotions, is good with themselves. Yes, you get along with others, but at the end of the day, I feel like you also advocate for yourself and you look out for yourself, and you're not some kind of needy or clingy type of person. So I feel like a lot of people, maybe that's where the intimidation comes in. But when people see you, you just seem like a visionary kind of person. And I am seeing someone with dark hair. Might not be all of you, but I feel like you almost have that quality or that energy that's kind of scorpionic and kind of like more of that dark, independent, not like desperate for people kind of vibe. Like I'm just doing my own thing, and if you don't like me, I don't really care. Kind of like, I don't know why I associate that with brunettes more, but that's just what I'm getting. I feel like you have that independence, not trying to fit in kind of quality. Let me get some cards from this deck for pile 2. Okay, what is this? That got stuck in there, and this is the 6 of Swords. So I'm going to count that for you guys because I have no idea how that got in there. And it makes sense with your energy because I feel like I was just talking about you guys being independent and being able to leave things behind, which is all about the 6 of Swords. So we got the Web Weaver, synchronicity, divine intelligence, cause and effect. The Word Lord, communication, praise, dishonesty, and the Sun Dancers, joyful activity, celebration of life, abundance, and the sacred union, partnership, romance. So a lot of people might pick up on a vibe that you guys have been in a major relationship, and there might even be an energy of like heartbreak hanging around you because of that, where you just seem like someone who has had a really deep love and you just have that kind of poetic quality. Because again, I keep seeing like dark hair, and I don't know why, but I'm getting this vibe of someone that looks like kind of like Heathcliff from Wuthering Heights and just is kind of a little bit haunted by some love that they lost and has this connection to the past that even though they're going, maybe this is why you're independent, like not to get too deep or sad, but maybe some of you guys had a great love. So you're just kind of already reconciled with this idea that like, okay, maybe I already experienced that in this lifetime, or I know what it's like to kind of lose a soulmate and not have access to them anymore. So if I can get through that, I can get through anything, and I'm not going to be as dependent on others. I don't know, but I feel like some people can just tell that you have had this great love, and maybe some of you guys are still in it. It just seems like you're not interested in like random strangers. Random strangers perceive you as being a little bit closed off energetically. You might have some natural energetic protective aspects in your chart, like a lot of fire, or I think air is pretty protective as well. So you might have a lot of that energy around you, which we got, of course, all over the tarot, where you're not taking in a bunch of strangers' energy. You're not really absorbing it. You feel like you are kind of a little walled off to people, which I think that they respect. I think that they are like, okay, this person, I know what they want. They're kind of assertive with me, and I know how to give it to them. And I feel like they think of you afterwards as someone who's competent, efficient, gets things done, good with your words, really smart, and also that you might have some money, or they perceive you as abundant in some way, wealthy in some way. Maybe they perceive that you grew up with a lot of money. I'm getting that some of you guys have really impeccable manners, and you just know how to act in different social situations. It feels like you never put a foot wrong. You never are making a fool of yourself. You are a little bit reserved at times, I'm getting. Like you're not the person who is going to rush out and pour out your heart to a bunch of strangers and just tell everything to everyone. You are going to have that self-protective aspect. And I think that, like I said, some people might react badly to this, but a lot of people really respect it and totally understand. I think most people understand how crazy people can be nowadays. So we all get it if someone has to have some energetic protection. So yeah, I think people mostly respect the way you carry yourself, understand it, and I think they can see that you're kind of doing your own thing. I do feel like some of you guys have a witchy quality to you as well with the Web Weaver. So you might seem like someone who does tarot and does stuff with that, metaphysical stuff. Yeah, because you guys, I think, are very perceptive too. So it's like you have a little bit of that natural psychic ability, period, even without tarot. Let's get more cards for pile 2. How do strangers perceive them, Spirit? How do strangers perceive pile 2? Okay, if we could get one card sooner or later. The deep diver diving into a task. Overflow, overwhelm, and plenty. So you definitely are giving off this wealth vibe. Horned cactus, resourcefulness, and stranger curiosity. So that's what I was saying, is like you don't give away that much. So I actually think a lot of people are just curious about you. they kind of get a vibe with your, because you do put up a little energetic protection, I feel like they can't energetically perceive as much and intuit as much about you. So there's a lot of kind of questions they have. There's a lot of like unanswered, like, wow, that person was really intriguing. I wonder what they're like. I wonder what they think about this situation, or I wonder what, what their story is. A lot of people just see you and get intrigued because you don't give it away, because you're not that person that's going to be pouring out your heart and telling everyone all your business from day one. There's this intrigued quality, and people want to know more about you. People are curious about you. So a lot of people just see you and they're like, wow, what's up? What is that person's vibe? When someone, you think maybe they have a cool outfit or they're dressed well, and they generally seem like they're like busy, or they're off to something, or they don't seem like they're dawdling. There's an inaccessibility to them. There's something that's just like, okay, I know I can't go up and interrupt them and be like, hey, let's hang out and chat. So I think a lot of people just get intrigued about you and want to know more, and they see you as someone who's quite deep. I feel like you do come off as loyal to the people around you. So they might even interact with you when you're like with friends or with your partner, and they can see you being so vibrant and effusive and like talking to your partner and really having a really deep conversation. But when you're around that stranger, you're going to be like, hi, nice to meet you. And you're going to be a little bit of this cactus with a little bit of the prickly little, whatever they're called, thorns, I don't know, prickly little things that stick out from cactuses, needles. You're going to have a little bit of that up, where you are not going to just be inviting everyone in. And that's why cactuses have them, right? It's because it's protective, and because they know that they need to protect that precious water inside a cactus from all the animals that would eat them. If they didn't have that, if it was just like the rainforest and it was just like a bright green leafy thing that was easy to digest, then it would be eaten in like 2 minutes, because all the animals in the desert are always looking for water. So they know they've got to put these little needles up to protect themselves. And I feel like you guys get that. Like, you don't see the world just through like this rosy colored lens of like, everything's awesome, everyone's awesome. You know that people can be shady, and that you do have to, look out for yourself a little bit. So I feel like people would like to know you more. You do seem like you're busy, always rushing off to things. Let me get some cards from this deck. But a lot of them just feel like they won't get that chance. So we got wishing well, bone collector, deep freeze. I feel like you guys thrive in like the winter months. If you live somewhere where there's winter, I feel like, which obviously everywhere has like a winter, even if it's not the same everywhere. But I feel like in the winter, you guys dress really well. Especially, you would look really good in like winter clothes, like sweaters and like jeans, and like being covered up a little, not in a bad way, not saying you have to like cover yourself up, but just, I feel I don't know, something about that fits your aesthetic, your vibe. You guys might have been born in the kind of winter months, or you might be have a lot of that part of the astrology in your chart. So winter month, fall energy. So like Libra through to like Aries might be where your chart is. So Libra, Virgo, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, or Pisces, and then Aries. And that might be where the majority of your chart lies, because I feel like you guys just thrive in winter, or even at night. You are in that kind of part of your chart where I feel like you're more of the nocturnal, like sleepy, wintry energy. Not sleepy, but just less light around you, but not in a bad way. I love those times of the year. So I completely love this vibe of like winter clothes and like hot cocoa and being a little more dressed up or buttoned up. I'm kind of seeing Kate Middleton in my mind. So maybe some of you guys give off a Kate Middleton vibe a little bit. I just feel like you seem very regal, very elegant, very well behaved, very composed. And I think a lot of people really admire your manners, how you carry yourself, how you walk through the world. And I think you make a good impression. I think people tend to be intrigued by you. I think they tend to not be able to put their finger on you as much. And there's a lot of mystery surrounding you. There's a lot of, I wish I could know more about this person, and I'm curious, and I wish I could I can tell they have some kind of an interesting history with this bone collector card, but I just don't know what it is. I just can't, they wouldn't tell me. I know I'm not going to ask. I'm afraid to ask because they definitely seem intimidating. But I can tell they have a story to them. I can tell they have something they've been through, something very interesting. And you do seem like you're doing well in life. You seem like people assume that you have a high paying job. People assume that you have a high-end friend group or you spend time in high-end places. I feel like you guys are well dressed and well put together, neat and tidy. I feel like you guys always take the effort to maybe spray on some perfume as you're leaving the house, or make sure your hair is slicked back into place, or make sure that your makeup is right. It feels like you guys are very put together. And yeah, I'm getting Virgo vibes as well coming through. So I feel like you don't really put a hair out of place, and people really respect that about you. So let me get some final cards from this deck. So we got empowerment. That's definitely your energy. Travel. You've definitely probably seen well traveled. And financial health. Okay, we get it. You guys definitely come off as being wealthy. And well-being, dreams. You also might come off like people might assume that you're someone who just works on your fitness a lot, something about how you look where you just seem like you do a lot of yoga, or you just give off that vibe of someone who would be going to Pilates every day, someone who is probably drinking green juices or very on point with their health. Again, I feel like you guys come off as disciplined. I feel like you guys come off as someone who is like just doing good on all points in life, like all across the board. You're not slacking in one area. You feel like you are respectable, like you get things done, like you are efficient. And people just, I think, assume that like your whole entire life is in order. You're not dysfunctional in any major way that I can pick up on. So yeah, there's a major respect coming through to you guys. There's a major level of kind of deference, and just, I think people see you and they assume that you are someone who has a lot of things figured out. So yeah, a lot of people would probably want to know your secrets. They would love to talk to you more, but they're probably not going to be the first one to start that conversation. You might have a little of that resting witch face, which of course happens to all of us, but I think that people are mostly intrigued by you. They want to know more. They like your outfit, they like your style, and they kind of look up to you in a way. So yeah, I think you guys probably get treated pretty well out in public is what I would guess. Although you might attract some jealous energy too, but I feel like most of these people would try to tamp down on that because they're afraid of that Five of Wands energy you guys give off. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want more clarity on this situation, then check out the link in my description for Keen and get a one-on-one reading with one of their advisors. That's such an amazing deal they're running, and they have such a powerful team of advisors over there. So you definitely don't want to miss it. Like I said, link is in my description for that. I really hope it resonated. Let me know if it did in the comments. I love hearing from you guys, hearing your thoughts. It's always interesting to me, so let me know, and make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you like this video, and make sure you're subscribed and have notifications on so you can find out as soon as I post. And if you want to see my additional readings, then head on over to my Patreon. I just posted an extended reading for What Do They Think of You over there, and I have a ton of readings over there. I just posted one that is What Is the Gossip About You, and more will be coming very soon. I'll be posting about what are your dreams telling you very soon. So there's a ton of content to choose from, so definitely check it out. Link is in my description for that. And if you want a private one-on-one reading with me, you can also get that at the link in my description, briarrosetarot.com, if you want that. So thank you guys so much for watching. I am sending you so much love and light, and I will be back very soon for another reading. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you then. Bye. Hey Pile 3, so if you guys picked this berry pink dessert, this is going to be your reading. So on the top, there's two juicy looking blueberries decorating it, as well as what appears to be a cranberry. There's also some chocolate decorations, a chocolate fan, and a shard of chocolate. There's also some frosting piped down really artfully. It's probably vanilla flavored because it is white. And then down the sides, there's a pink and purple glaze, probably berry flavored to match the toppings. This is probably some chantilly cake, and it looks super elegant and delicious. I feel like it would be perfect to serve at a tea party or some kind of elegant occasion like that. But let's get right into your tarot. So you guys got the 10 of Cups, 6 of Cups, the Emperor, 8 of Pentacles, 3 of Swords, 2 of Cups, 4 of Wands, the Magician, and the Page of Wands. So you guys honestly give off a very magical vibe. There's something very magical about you, and we did get the Magician. And I was kind of wishing that I had actually used my fairy tarot deck for you guys, because you just give off such a fairy type energy. But I wanted to keep the same vibes for everyone, so I kept the same decks. But honestly, you might have a connection to fairies. I feel like you guys see the magic in the world, and there's something kind of youthful and almost childlike about you guys. I feel you brighten a lot of people's day when they meet you. And honestly, a lot of people I feel have a major crush on you after meeting you, and might even imagine a long-term relationship with you or marriage with you, or just their mind goes to like, wow, that person would make a great long-term partner, girlfriend, or boyfriend. But you just give off that kind of boyfriend material or girlfriend material, like, or wifey, you know, that kind of a thing, where I feel like people just see you as such a sweetheart. People see you as such a positive energy, and like when you come through, you're really sharing your positive energy with the world. So people get an extremely good boost from interacting with you. It feels like you guys are, if you're not always happy, I feel like you're happy a lot of the time, and kind of happy-go-lucky, and make other people happy with your energy because you have this positivity. I feel like you guys have this enthusiasm where when you see something, you wouldn't just be like, oh yeah, that was cool. You'd be like, oh my God, it was the best thing ever. I loved it. It was so great. It was so incredible. And I feel like that enthusiasm that you have, it really rubs off on others, and it really infuses people with more energy. And I was kind of tired going into this reading actually, and I felt like I got a little boost from you guys as I really started tuning into your energy. So thank you for that. I feel like you do that a lot to people, where maybe someone's having a rough day, cashier has been dealing with a lot of people, and they're just kind of exhausted, and your energy comes in and just really restores them and brings them back to feeling in a good place, helps them emotionally get some, like an emotional little burst of happiness and joy. So there's a lot of positivity that you guys share with the world. And I feel like, again, this is why so many people think about having a long-term relationship with you guys. I just got a message for some of you guys, not everyone, but some of you guys have a little bit of anxiety at times. And you might even feel this pressure a lot, like maybe you know that you have kind of a positive energy, and especially with cups energy, that can be water energy, which can be very absorbing towards other energies and really take on the energies and qualities of others. So you might actually find yourself having a hard time going out and interacting with the world. Like maybe you sometimes get in your head, or you are in a great mood, but you talk to someone and suddenly you're really anxious, you're really nervous, you're having a horrible day. And it might be hard for you sometimes to just run errands or go out and about. And I am hearing a message that it is because you guys are empaths and you're taking it on, and a lot of the energies you're picking up on are not from you. So I do feel like this pile in particular would really benefit from taking spiritual baths. And considering we're talking about your reaction to strangers and what strangers think of you, I feel like it does matter in the context of this, because definitely I think when you're interacting with people you don't know, it's like they could have a positive energy, they could have a negative, but especially going out and about in the world, we just absorb things unless we have natural protection, and us water signs are very absorbing. So definitely think about taking a spiritual bath or getting some Florida water or something to take a little bit of the energy off. But I definitely feel like you guys should be taking spiritual baths in particular. And I'll just say really quick my recipe for it, which is Epsom salt poured into it, and then saying Psalm 23 over it 3 times to charge the water and asking for it to cleanse you. And so yeah, you guys could try doing that to get rid of some of this energy, because I feel you guys are naturally quite positive, but I do feel like you absorb energies from others. So if you have been feeling depressed or upset or stressed out, it might be not your energy, it might be from someone else's, especially if you live with negative people. But anyway, with strangers, I feel like a lot of people leave your interactions feeling in a much better mood, feeling really happy, feeling really joyful. A lot of people really love the interactions they get with you, and there's some kind of youthful quality. You might look quite younger than your age. You might have people assuming that you're like 18 or when you're like 25, or assuming that you're like 25 when you're 40. I feel like there is a strong, almost mercurial aspect as well, because Mercury can make people look younger than they are when it is aspecting Venus or aspecting the ascendant, or a Gemini ascendant, or a Virgo ascendant, it can make people look younger than they are. And Mercury is also very playful. I feel like you guys are playful. And again, with that youthful quality of being open to the world and being kind of bright-eyed and like laughing a lot. You might be a jokester. I feel like people might get a vibe from you where like you come in with practical jokes, or you always have something funny to say, and you really lighten up the mood and do a lot for people, because I feel like you don't even realize how stressed some of these people might be before you come in, that they might have been having like the worst day, and they're not going to tell you like, thank you so much for coming in and saving me, but that's how they really feel. Also, that might be why people are, you know, really kind of, I want to say like imprinting on you from Twilight, where they're like suddenly imagining this whole future with you, and you're just like, I just was picking up some milk from the grocery store. Like, I don't know you. Yes, we had a nice like interaction when I'm checking out, but I don't know you. But I feel like people kind of with the Two of Cups coming through like that, they really will meet you and think like, oh, I wish that could be my girlfriend, or I wish that could be my boyfriend. Like, just, it would be such a dream to be in a relationship with him. I feel like you guys have probably had to give like the talk to a lot of people about like, I like you as a friend, I don't really see you as more than that, and it might be uncomfortable for you, but I think that's a theme around you because you guys are so charming. There's something very charming and likable and bright and energetic and happy about you guys. I think that's your natural state, is you're very happy. Some of you guys might be ENFPs or ENFJ. Yeah, I feel like there's something very positive and kind of bubbly about you. Let me spin the astro dice and see what astrological energies are coming up for pile 3. So we got Scorpio, the first house, and the nodes, which has come up for everyone today. So that's really interesting. I think a lot of you guys have a powerful energy that you're giving off. So with the first house, that is Aries, and it's ruled by Mars, and it's a fire sign. So a lot of you guys give off a vibe of, and the first house is all about the self. It's all about me. What I want, my soul, my interests, my goals. And a lot of you guys, I feel, have that bright, almost disruptive, not disruptive, but the bright energy of Aries that comes in with the burst of spring and puts an end to winter. That's Aries energy, is to come in and kind of shake off all the deep, heavy energy that you deal with in the winter months, you know, where we got Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, Sag. Starting off with Scorpio is kind of where the wintry energy really kicks in, and it starts becoming very deep and kind of the older astrological energies of like dealing with this like high level deep stress of like the deep issues in life. And then Aries comes in to be like, I care about me, I'm having a good time, I'm having fun, I'm focused on myself, I'm a little chaotic. And I love that about Aries. Like, I feel like that's why we love spring, right? It's because we're so ready for that burst of green and the freshness and the sun. And I feel like that's something you guys do, where you might encourage people and not to take things so seriously. You might be like, hey, it's not that deep. Like, it's okay. We don't have to overthink this. Let's just have fun. I do feel like you guys, a lot of you are little comedians, life of the party in that way, because I am literally feeling like I could just start laughing. So I don't know what it is, but I feel like you have a really funny sense of humor, and it's like a nice sense of humor. It's not like you're making jokes at people's expenses and trying to like mock someone and make them feel bad about themselves. You're making like positive, happy jokes that everyone can laugh at, everyone can feel good at, everyone leaves the interaction feeling in a good mood. With Scorpio, that's a fire sign, a water sign, and it is the 8th house. It's ruled by Pluto. So like I was saying, with the water signs, that can mean you take on a lot of other people's energies. It can also be very psychic. And Scorpio, you know, there's a lot of, that's interesting because they're both ruled by Mars. Ancient ruler of Scorpio is Mars. So with Mars energy is very excitable. It's also got a lot of sexuality. So maybe some of you guys, I can see all these people are kind of in love with you. Maybe it's also because you just exude some sexuality. But I feel like you don't really try to. I don't feel like you give off that vibe where you're like trying to seem like super sexy, like Jessica Rabbit, you know, you just feel like you innately kind of naturally, like I feel like you have this very charming kind of youthful quality. You might be kind of like an ingenue style. What's coming up to me is like when I did my reading for my Patreon of what feminine archetype would you be, and there was a pile with an energy of kind of young youthful ingenue, and I feel like that would be kind of you guys. Like you just feel like there's something very sexy about you, but it's not necessarily like you're trying to be sexy or you're trying to seduce people. It just naturally happens as a way of how you're so open to life. But with Mars, also Mars is always ready for something new, ready for a challenge, energetic, excited. And that's definitely you guys. Let me spin the astral dice one more time to see what other energies we get. So we got Aquarius, we got the ninth house, and we got Saturn. So ninth house is ruled by Sagittarius. So some of you guys might be Aquarians, Sagittarians, Capricorns, Scorpios, or Aries. Those are the signs we've gotten so far. So with ninth house Sagittarius, that can be about travel. I feel like you just are that energy. Sagittarius is such an energy that like when they're into something, they get really into it. They are very curious. They're very mentally restless. They're very intelligent and always onto something new, always wanting to try something new. They can be commitment phobic. There is some commitment phobic energy coming through this little section here because Aquarius is also quite commitment phobic and kind of puts people at a little bit of a distance. So I feel like maybe this is where people are saying like, oh, I would love them to be my girlfriend, but they rejected me, or like they just are never into like long-term relationships. Maybe they heard about you or something, or they know about you. They know like you're in their extended social group or something like that. But I feel like you give off a vibe of kind of being very independent. Like you are friendly, you are flirty, but some of you guys come off like you're just kind of drifting through the world and you're not looking for anything too serious. And so I feel like people become, it's like almost like a feeding frenzy or something is what's coming to mind. Like the more you are just like staying in your own lane, enjoying your life, the more people are like, okay, I want access to this person. I need to know more. And with Saturn, again, what's coming up for me with that is like a lot of you guys might help people kind of heal from their traumas and be very loving and supportive to people and not even realize how much of a gift you're giving them by your kindness and your sweet quality that you give off. I feel like you have helped a lot of people, whether you realize it or not. So let me get some more cards for pile 3. Let's see what cards we get for pile 3. So we got Wise Woman of the Grove, Grace, Reflecting Pool, Stillness, Starry Night, Acceptance, and Frog Spirit, Renewal. So with Starry Night, Acceptance, again, I feel like there's something very accepting about you, very open, that I think helps people really heal from their stress and stuff, the way you kind of are loving and open to everyone, and you're kind of graceful and you kind of sit with them and are open to them, and you're not closed off like a lot of people are. You're very giving of yourself. You're very kind. You see the best in people. I feel like you don't realize that this is a major healing vibe, and it really means something to people, especially because I think you do make a good impression. I think you guys are attractive. I think you guys look like you dress in a pretty way and people like how you dress. So it's like it means a lot that you come in a way and are so kind and loving and sweet and open. I think it really renews people's spirits. And I also am getting a message that some of you guys are like the party starter. Like you will get the energy pumped up if everyone else is kind of at a party, like bored and just hanging around and standing by the wall and just kind of withdrawn. You will come in and maybe like dance on a table or turn the music up or get everyone to start playing a party game. But I feel like there's something so fun about you guys that everyone loves to be around you. Honestly, you guys, I feel like have no problem with the opposite sex. And with the Emperor card coming through, that can be an energy of like, you might attract very powerful partners because it's almost like you can have your pick. So you might as well date the, I don't know, the powerful one or the one who has all the looks or all the whatever you want. You know, we can all choose what we value in a partner, and there's no wrong or right answer, but for you guys, I feel like you will have your pick. So if you want that, you know, powerful partner, you can get that. If you want that attractive partner, you can get that. If you want that really smart partner, it just feels like you get to decide because you have this natural charm to you and you just pull people in so much. Let me get some more cards, one more card from this deck. And how you move is very graceful, I feel. Okay, that was 3 cards, so we're not going to do 3 cards. 1 card, Spirit, please, for pile 3. 1 card. Okay, Willow Spirit, flexibility. So a lot of people, I think, really do have crushes on you guys. This keeps coming up for me. And really fantasize about you guys, like, a lot. I feel like you are just at the top of a lot of people's lists of crushes that they have. Like, they just think you guys are so cute. I feel like you guys are really cute. I don't know, something about your cheeks being prominent or just having cute cheeks, cute face, cute lips. I'm seeing kind of full lips, but they're not like super huge. But I feel like people really love your whole face and your eyes. You guys might have big eyes or something, but they think you guys are really cute. And it's not just your looks. It is your looks, but it's also more. It's also your energy. It's also the kind of magical vibe you give off where I feel like you look at the world through a magical lens and you just see the endless possibility in things. You're not closed off. You're not feeling like people have to act a certain way or behave a certain way. You're very open-minded in that way. And we did get Sagittarius and Aquarius, which is totally that energy. So let's see what else we get for pile 3. What do people think of pile 3 when they just strangers? The Metal King, discipline, armor, boundaries. Queen of the Light, illumination, enlightenment, celebration. The Diamond Dreamer, material wealth, true prosperity. And the Chess Queen, trust, strategizing. So I feel like a lot of people who, when they first meet you, again, I feel like you attract people who might be like not as open. Like, I feel like these cards are kind of other people's energy surrounding you. And it's funny, I intuitively like laid it out like that. Like, you might have a lot of friends that almost like, I don't want to be mean, but maybe have issues in different areas. Like, maybe you might have guys who have a really big crush on you and they have a lot of their own issues and they're very closed off and they kind of are tough to deal with for a lot of people. Or you might have girlfriends who are kind of, they can be kind of mean to people, or they're just like not as energetically open and you're kind of the bubbly one in the group. And I think that there's just a message of like, be careful not to, because I feel like you guys just have such a bright light that you attract energy. And I'm literally seeing in my mind moths like around a porch light in the summer. You know how moths are attracted to light, so they will like fly close to a candle or fly close to a light bulb. And if, especially in like the American South, if you have like a porch light on outside, you know, the moths will just be out there in the moonlight, like flicking around the light and just flying there and flying into the light. And I feel like that's you guys, because you're like this beacon in the darkness and people can sense your energy. We literally got the Queen of the Light for you. So I feel like a lot of people sense your energy and how giving and loving you are, and they might be like, this person can heal me, this person can help me. And whenever you have this kind of energy, it's just important to have energetic boundaries up to a certain extent. It's a great idea always, if you have this energy, to wear tourmaline or black obsidian and have black tourmaline or obsidian and have you know, take protective measures, you know, ask your angels and your guides to protect your energy field. You can imagine yourself surrounded in a bubble of white light. And a great practice is to regularly take spiritual baths and cleanse yourself of all the energy that's projected on you, because it's just going to be projected on you. And I feel like a lot of you guys are going to be the center of attention no matter what you do. You might be trying to mind your business and just have a good time, but you're going to have people that just kind of want to know you, want to know more, like want to talk to you. And I feel like you guys are just very energetically giving and open, and you would almost hate to put up boundaries because you are so loving to the world. But, you know, it is better if we can learn to look after ourselves and learn to watch out for ourselves. And I think that's something you guys really need to do. Then we can give selectively, not to the people who just take from us, but to the people that we really feel called to give to and really, you know, have more of that energy so we can use it at will and not just to whoever kind of takes it. So let me get some cards for pile 3. What do people think of pile 3 when they first meet them or see them? Unmarked trail, revelation, caterpillar, opportunity, crown games, right use of power. And that's interesting that that's reversed. I'm going to read it reversed. Beloved, radical acceptance. Oh, and this one flew out, and it is joyful music, inspiration. So I think you guys come off as highly creative, and you also might have inspired other people to like write music about you or something like that. I feel like you might be a bit of a muse for many people. But with Unmarked Trail Revelation, I do feel like a lot of you guys are kind of giving off a vibe of you're always excited by something new. You always have a new idea. You always have something new and interesting that you guys are up to and that you guys are doing. You're never in a boring, stagnant, kind of stodgy energy. You're always excited for something, trying for something, after something fresh. And I feel like a lot of people love to kind of enter your world. I'm hearing Part of Your World by The Little Mermaid, by Ariel. And you know, she kind of has similar vibes to you guys. So that could be why they're bringing that up. But I also feel that with Part of Your World, it's, you know, a lot of people wish they could view the world in that magical way that kind of Ariel does in that movie where she's like, oh my God, Earth, like it just looks so amazing. Or being on land, it just looks so amazing. And like a fork, I found a fork, isn't that cool? And I feel like that's kind of your energy where you view the world with all the potential it has and with all the beauty it has, and you are that person who will stop to smell the roses and stop to take things in and stop to stare up at the clouds and look up at the night sky and absorb things. And I almost feel like someone who's very closed off might find you and just kind of think you're a little strange at first, or be like, wait, what the heck are you doing? Why are you like eating ice cream so much and like closing your eyes with the flavor and just being so absorbed in the moment? But after a while, they see the way you view the world, they see the way you see beauty everywhere, and they start it starts rubbing off on them, and they start seeing the potential of things too. I feel like you guys also might attract some jealous friends because of this, and we got crown games, right use of power, reversed. So yeah, I think a lot of people might kind of be jealous of this light you give off and the effect it has on others, because I do feel like a lot of people see your light and see your joy and your happiness and your vibe and see all these people kind of staring at you and drawn to you and having crushes on you, and they're like, how did they get that, and how do I get that, and why are they so charismatic? Because I do feel like you guys are highly charismatic. You guys might be good. Some of you guys might have anxiety with speaking in front of a crowd, but I feel like when you actually do it, you're actually really good at it. Like I'm seeing that moment from like, you know, all those movies where the person will be like nervous to go on stage and then they do, and like the whole crowd starts cheering. So I feel like you're that person who would be capable of giving a public speech or talking to a bunch of people and motivating them and getting everyone fired up. You know, in like a football movie, you would be that coach that inspires like the game-winning speech and gives everyone this talk in the locker room that just lights them up. So yeah, you guys bring so much energy to everything you're involved with. So let's get some cards from this deck. Rescue. This energy keeps coming through for you guys. You guys definitely, your guides are like, okay, I love this about you, but maybe stop rescuing people and stop giving so much of yourself. That one just was coming apart. So I'm not going to pick up that card because it's like kind of across the floor. But I feel like the message there is that you guys, again, absorb other people's energy, help a lot of people that maybe your energy would be better used elsewhere. So it's something to think about. It's something to consider, because I feel like your guys keep calling this out, and it's not really that type of a reading, but it's just something they want you to note is like ramp up that energetic protection. Magical map shifter, follow the leader. I feel like you guys don't really try to be a leader at all. In fact, you might even like to kind of be in the back seat a little, and you might like and prefer to kind of defer to others and not have to be the one in charge. But I feel like you naturally kind of like fit into that leadership position because you guys bring so much to the table that so many people are drawn to you. And so it's just like you're kind of very popular. I feel a lot of people when they first meet you, they just are like, wow, this person seems awesome. They seem so nice. I feel like you would probably be that person who knows everyone in like your apartment complex or at your work. You'd be like, hi, Bobby. Hi, Jane. Like, oh, hey, Bob, did you get the donuts? You're just very like positive, talkative. People really like you. People enjoy you. They see you as bright and bubbly. And you guys, if you are a feminine energy, you might present as quite feminine and very like happy and very whimsical and dreamy, creative, very in touch with your feminine side. And if you're a masculine, I feel like you just present as pretty positive, and it's really good. Like I feel like a lot of you guys, even some of you guys might be kind of straight edge or someone who doesn't really do a lot of like bad substances or anything. And if that's the case, but if you do it, I feel like you're able to kind of keep yourself not going too far off the rails. You know what I mean? I just feel like there's a positivity here. There's a connection to the spiritual side. There's a connection to the astral plane. A lot of you guys are probably highly protected by your angels. You just have a very, very bright light. And I think, because what's coming to my mind is this story from Oprah where she was talking to this guy who had survived a plane crash, and he was like an atheist or whatever. So he was like, I don't really believe in any of the afterlife or anything like that. But he actually survived the plane crash, and he fell out of the plane, I guess. Like he was sitting next to the emergency exit, and I guess that opened. So he was able to fall out in his seat and then landed somehow. So he survived. But anyway, as he was leaving, it was like as he was in the plane, everything was kind of slowed down. And as he was falling out, he could see these people like sitting in the plane, and they had light leaving their body. And some of them had kind of a dim light, and some of them had an incredibly bright, like blinding aura. And that's kind of our spiritual light that we carry. And he said that he's always thought about that, even though he's still an atheist. Hard to believe you could still be an atheist, but he still is. And God bless. But so anyway, he said that really changed his life and how he thinks about things. You know, he said he never really forgot it. And that's just something that's really stayed in his mind, is the vision of those people with light leaving their head and just how bright some people's auras were. And he always strove to have a bright aura like that afterwards. And I feel like you guys just naturally have that. You naturally are this incredibly powerful source for good in the world with your positivity, with your happy vibes, with your happy energy. And you guys should definitely never stop, but maybe ramp up the protection a little bit so you're not overwhelmed, or you're not randomly feeling like, well, why am I in a bad mood? I interacted with that person, but nothing bad happened, but I just feel so depressed. Well, you're probably an empath and you're probably picking it up from them. So, you know, make sure you take those spiritual baths regularly, and make sure you're, you know, saging and stuff like that. Saging wherever you live. All that stuff is important for spiritual maintenance, basically. Just like you would take your car in for maintenance, or you would shower every day, you got to do it spiritually speaking as well. Let's get some final cards for pile 3. What kind of energy do they give off? Commitment. Yeah, so many people would love to have a relationship with you, and you seem like, again, like wifey, not just like they want to sleep with you, but they would want to have a family with you. Like you guys are very nurturing and loving. And I think you guys have a lot of good karmic protection around you guys with that Justice card. I feel like you have a really strong set of angels, and your team on the other side is really on point, and they are definitely looking out and protecting you. Also, a lot of people find you just very physically attractive, and so they are thinking about you in terms of that long-term commitment, but they're also thinking of like, dang, they are looking really good. A lot of you guys are just very attractive and seem just energetic. You might be kind of physically fit, or just someone who has a lot of natural energy and just comes off like they are ready to go. Even if they haven't worked out in months, they just have that natural energetic vibe where they can kind of pick up wherever and just always have some energy to bring to the table. So yeah, I think that's what I have for you guys. Pile 3, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want more clarity on this situation, then check out the link in my description for Keen and get a one-on-one reading with one of their advisors. That's such an amazing deal they're running, and they have such a powerful team of advisors over there. So you definitely don't want to miss it. Like I said, link is in my description for that. I really hope it resonated. Let me know if it did in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. So let me know what you think and how it resonated with you. And make sure to give this reading a big thumbs up. Hit the like button if it resonated with you. And make sure to subscribe as well so you find out as soon as I post, and turn notifications on so you get notified when I'm posting. And if you guys want to see more of my readings, then you can check out my Patreon. I just posted an extended reading for What Did They Think About You? And I also posted What Is the Gossip About You a little while ago, and I'm going to be posting what is going on in your dreams, what are the messages from your dreams. So there's a lot of content to choose from and a lot of upcoming content as well. So go ahead and subscribe. What are you waiting for? My link is in my description for my Patreon if you guys want to join us over there. And if you want a private one-on-one reading with me, you can do that as well and get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com, if you want a private one-on-one tarot session. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I will see you guys very soon in the next reading. So take care of yourselves, and I'll see you then. Bye. Hey pile 4, so if you guys picked this purple heart-shaped dessert, this is going to be your reading. So I'm guessing that this is some vanilla cheesecake. It looks really rich and buttery and delicious. On the side, there's a purple polka dotted ribbon decorating it, and it's topped with what appears to be purple gelatin, so probably berry flavored gelatin to match the blueberry on the top. There's also a dollop of whipped cream and a little sprig of green, probably mint to fit the dessert vibes. There's also a cashew on the side and a little note that says chocolate. So it might be chocolate berry filling on the inside, which is such an elegant pairing. I love that flavor. It just looks really lovely, perfect for like a tea party or some cute little event like that. But let's get right into your tarot. So you guys got the 8 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands, the Devil, the Chariot, the Hierophant, Ace of Wands, Judgment, Queen of Swords, 5 of Cups, and the Empress. So you guys feel to me like some people might react badly to you at first or be weirdly rude to you guys. And I feel like that's because you have a very kind of unique quality to you. You might seem like someone who has lived a bunch of places or done a lot of things in your life or has a lot of knowledge. And that might sometimes trigger people, and they might kind of be a little like, oh, so you think you're better than me, that kind of vibe. There might be people who are weirdly kind of standoffish to you guys. And I feel like that's because you guys are highly intelligent and you seem almost like a judgment towards them, but not on purpose. Not that you're judgmental, but more like they take your intelligence and your strength as some kind of judgment, or like they're comparing themselves to you. They're being like, oh, they think they're better because they, I don't know all this stuff, or because they went to this college, or because they are dressed like that, or something like that. Almost like because you guys give off a vibe of being very smart and having your life together, I feel like a lot of people take you in a negative way, and almost like you guys might beat to the march to the beat of your own drum. So you might be someone who's somehow a little bit different, or wears things differently, or dresses differently, or is a different religion or something like that. And people around you might not react well to that because maybe they are living their life on kind of society's terms, and they thought that that was the one way to live. And the fact that you are going outside of that might make them reconsider their own choices. Because I feel like people see you as someone who's very free, does things their own way. Like I said, marches to the beat of your own drum is just like, I'm going to do things my way. I appreciate your opinion. And it's almost like they could dismiss people who are marching to the beat of their own drum normally. They could dismiss someone who's a little different normally, but because you guys are so smart and well-spoken and you seem like you have your life together to a deep extent, people can't really dismiss you. Like however you present yourself, it's very highly intelligent. It's like you're well-spoken. You guys might have a very wide vocabulary or something, but I feel like you would be that person that would come in and would think critically about a situation where everyone else is following the crowd. So some people don't like that because it's like you stepping into your own power makes them question, like, why am I putting up with this? Why am I marching to what everyone else wants? And I feel like you guys are kind of this powerhouse. So maybe they could usually bully someone else into going along with them, but you are that person that would be like, wait a minute, hold on. Like, it might have even caused problems at work or something, where you would be that person who's going to be like, wait a minute, no, we're not supposed to be working through the lunch hour. Does HR know about this? And like, you would be that one to stand up, truth to power, and be like, there's something off here. And so I'm seeing like Aaron Brockovich and stuff like that. So I feel like people see you as disruptive in a way, and they might react well to that. They might react really badly to that. But it feels like you guys have a strong moral code, and people judge you as having some strong morality that you stick to. So maybe that could cause issues as well, like either strong politics or morality. So maybe you are the kind of person that feels really strongly about certain causes, and people might not want to have that brought up to them. They might not want to see that. They might want to just kind of brush over that or go along with what someone else told them. And you are that person that might have done your research and been like, I have 5 different sources to show you. So yeah, also there's this sexuality component coming through here. So we did get the Ace of Wands and the Devil. I feel like a lot of you guys are very sexually alluring, and the Empress, and it's kind of forming this trine with the Empress. So a lot of you guys, I feel, do give off a sexuality. You're attractive, you're physically attractive, and I feel like you guys are attractive in a way that there's just something different. Like, you're not fitting along with the crowd. Like, if you live in an area where everyone is blonde, you would be like that brunette dressing all in black. Or if you are in an area where everyone has a dark hair, you would be the blonde sticking out of the crowd. So it just seems like there's something a little different, a little outside the norm. Maybe you dress differently, or you dress very cool or kind of alternative or in an updated fashion. But I feel like a lot of people are like, who was that? Like, when you leave, they're like, wait a minute, that person, they might even think you're like a mini like influencer or something like that, because you dress in such a unique, cool way. Like, I feel like some of you guys just present in a way that seems like you have a really cool fashion sense, and people might follow you on different platforms to get like fashion advice and stuff like that with you. So let me spin the Astro Dice, see what the Astro Dice have to say. So we got Mars, we got Sagittarius, and we got the 10th house. And we got Sagittarius just as I was about to start talking about the card that it fell right underneath, the 3 of Wands. And I feel like a lot of you guys come off as well-traveled, and Sagittarius is that traveled energy. And so again, I feel like there's people that might think that you are like saying you're better than them, or that because you have this life experience, there's something about you guys being very smart or being very cultured, or like living outside the box, living in a different way. And people might just even like take that personally and think that because you're telling them about your trip to like Guatemala, that you're accusing them of being a loser who never leaves the house or something like that, you know. Or because you are from Guatemala originally, someone just might not be used to you at wherever you live. Maybe they are like, you know, not used to having anyone from Guatemala around or something. But there's something very different, I feel, about you guys, that maybe you originated in another place and have moved elsewhere, or you travel a lot, and that's just coming up as maybe you dress in a way where you have inspiration from like around the world or from a different culture. And there's something just different. Like, there's something that the people around you just aren't used to. And they're kind of like, wait, what is this? Or they see you as having like a distinct sense of style, where, you know how like what's coming up is Emily in Paris, how she just looks so like different because she's dressing in things that are so kind of high fashion. And I think also she has that vibe of like an American in Paris. So that would kind of work as well. So wherever country you're from, it just, there's something different. There's something like unique and kind of something that the people around you are just not used to. Yeah. And I feel like some of you guys, you take more effort on your appearance. You might actually like go out of your way to make sure your outfits are on point. And just a lot of people just don't do that. They just throw on whatever clothes and they just leave the house. And so maybe there's something a little more polished about you guys that people might be like, oh, so yeah, you think you're better than us. I feel like you guys also come off as kind of busy, like you are always trying something new, always on the go. And we did get that Mars energy as well. So that can definitely be busy, goal oriented, like you have places to go, people to see. You are not dawdling and like drifting through life. Yeah, 10th house, like I feel like people perceive you as having a good career. And also 10th house is the house of honors and public acclaim. So again, with this influencer vibe, or maybe people assuming that you have a really popular Instagram account or TikTok or something, but you definitely seem like you're on the up and up wherever you're going, whatever career you're in. You definitely give off a vibe of someone who is going somewhere or doing something. There's a lot of potential around you guys. There's a lot of like, this person is special. This person is doing something important. This person is working on something. They are hustling. They are moving ahead. Again, you guys might walk fast or be just like kind of seem very direct, or like you're, when you go into a store, you're not kind of like ambling around and like taking your time. Or even if you do, it just seems like you're focused in some way, like you're looking for something. You are doing something. I feel like people assume you're busy. They assume that you have like a booked social calendar or a booked day for your business. Like your schedule is busy, your schedule is full. You don't have a lot of time to waste or to spend just hanging around like maybe other people do. You just feel like you're efficient, you are doing something, and a lot of people kind of notice this vibe about you guys. And with that 10th house, again, there's a lot of potential for success, and I feel like abundance. So let me spin the astro dice one more time. So we got Jupiter, as I'm saying, success, and we got Gemini, and we got the 9th house again. So much Sagittarius energy coming through for you guys. You just seem very well traveled. And also Sagittarius 9th house can be house of higher education. And so you guys come off intelligent in that way, and probably well educated, like I was saying, well spoken. And the thing about that Jupiter energy is it's also educated in a way of being kind of philosophical, of being someone who is not just like book smart, but like very deep philosophy and the meaning of life and all those things. And it can talk about like political, spiritual knowledge. So again, I feel like you just come off like someone who is, what's the word that's coming to mind as well for you guys is erudite. So I feel like you guys just overall seem very well spoken and very intelligent, and like you know a lot about a lot of different things. So with Jupiter, there is a lot of wealth potential around you guys. You might already come off very wealthy or well off. And with Gemini, again, very well spoken, probably pretty direct and concise and just getting to the point. Let's get some more cards. So Spirit, what can you tell us about pile 4 and the vibe they give off to strangers and people who don't know them that well? What is the vibe pile 4 gives off? Spirit guardian of spring, activation, standing stones, passage. Okay. So that spring energy always reminds me of the spring signs for astrology. So that would be Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. And so those are all kind of the fresh, youthful vibes, like not super old part of the zodiac. It's kind of like fresh and just arrived, very bold, very excitable, very like taking things as they are, and very energetic and kind of appreciating everything, really tasting things, really being in the moment and living for what's happening and being excited about everything. To me, that's kind of that energy. So I feel like you guys seem like someone who has experienced a lot of things, enjoys being in the world, enjoys and really cares about kind of what happens. You're not just in your head. Like I feel like you're someone who wants to like live in the world and wants to taste things and try new things and go different places and So I feel like you have that kind of grounded quality to you where you don't seem too head in the clouds. You seem, there's a certain groundedness around you guys and kind of earthiness. Like, even though you might seem a little bit bougie and high end, I still feel like you seem very relatable and present in the moment, if that makes sense. So like when you are talking to someone, you're really looking at them in the eye. You're really taking them in. You're really in that conversation in the moment. If you get what I'm saying. Or if you're at a restaurant, you're not going to be just like reading a book and completely immersed and barely like tasting your food or in your head. You're going to be like really tasting. And I feel like that's why you guys like trying new things, going different places, is like there's a groundedness to you with your energy field. And so people just feel your energy, feel your focus and your attention, because I feel like you guys are good at focusing when you want to. You are good at paying attention, and you do give off a kind of leader vibe. You don't seem very scared or nervous or anxious about a lot of things. I feel like you just seem very bold and unafraid. And we did get Sagittarius a bunch of times, and Sagittarius is totally that bold, unafraid type of energy. So I feel like you guys really come into things to kind of shake situations up. Like maybe someone's become really complacent, and one of your missions in life is to come in and kind of make them realize the possibilities, make them realize, like, if someone's like, oh, well, you traveled there, good for you, but I could never do that. And you could be like, well, actually, like, the airline tickets cost this much, and I stayed in a hostel, and you know what I mean? And kind of showing people this possibility because your energy is so full of life and invigorated, and you do care and you want to experience different things. Or maybe, again, someone's closed off to a certain idea and you're like, well, actually, let me show you all the research. I feel like you guys have a bit of an educator vibe. Like, you come in to kind of teach people things and to help them learn, to help them grow, to help them go through these different passages. And that's probably something you guys did in past lifetimes. I'm getting a message about that too. Let me get more cards for pile 4. Spirit, can you give us guidance for pile 4? It's really funny because I feel like you guys are very perceptive. I feel like you really look through a certain situation, and the kind of walls people put up, they might be pretending around you, and you're that person that can just see right through them. You're that person that can read exactly their emotions, knows exactly what's going on, is very perceptive. You really see down to someone's core. And so I feel like a lot of people might not like that about you, and they might be like, well, who do you think you are? Why would you say that about me? Or why would you think that about me? You know, they might be like offended by by just you looking at them, because you are seeing a little bit deeper than the average person, and maybe they did have a little bit of a fake wall up to the world, but you are that person that really sees through everything and sees past it. Yeah, I definitely feel like, you know, there's a bit of this intimidation factor around you guys, and a lot of you guys might just randomly feel like you got put in like an authority leadership position because you kind of have that natural gravitas. Like, you know how like on shows, like reality shows like Survivor or something, I don't know because I haven't watched it in a while, but I feel like they have to like elect like a tribal leader or something. And I feel like you would be that person that always gets appointed, and you're like, I don't even want this position, but people just like put you in that position. You might have been randomly like school president or president of a bunch of clubs, or just finding yourself, a lot of people coming to you for help, a lot of people coming to you for advice. I feel like a lot of people just feel that you're very intelligent and on point. So you kind of naturally, with strangers and stuff, they probably are not going to super mess with you. Maybe they do get a little annoyed with you, but I also feel like they have that respect for kind of your gravitas and your down to earth kind of energy that you give off. So let's get more cards. What can you tell us about the impressions pile 4 gives off, Spirit? What impressions does pile 4 give off, Spirit? So we got the Fire Prince, optimism, aggression, the Ringmaster of scrutiny, discernment, clear vision, details. You are really smart. You're highly intelligent, and they're bringing, I mean, the word Lord, exactly. You're great at communication, the High Lady of love and compassion, but that was reversed. So people might not see that aspect of you when they first meet you. They might just think you're kind of a little bit, not uncompassionate, but like you're not necessarily going to be that warm and fuzzy type. When they first meet you, they might be like, ooh, I'm intimidated. This person seems kind of tough. Like, you know how sometimes when you're in school too, like your first day of class, the teacher will be introducing themselves and introducing the coursework. And usually there's one teacher that just scares the heck out of you, where you're like, oh my God, this is going to be so hard and I'm so nervous. And it might be like the nicest teacher ever. And it might be that the more you're in the class, you're like, oh, they're so awesome and they're so lovable. Like, I know for me, one of my favorite professors, like no one else liked him because he was really tough, but he was also really fair. And I really liked that he was very open-minded to different ideas, and he you know, really understood when I would try to talk about I actually talked about some of the metaphysical stuff back then. And I would talk about that, but he didn't like roll his eyes about that. And I felt like even though he was really intimidating, as long as we presented things and there was honest argumentation there, he was open to whatever. You could say anything, but you had to have it on point. But if you did, then he was super fair. And I really preferred him to some of those professors that you have that like, they'll be super nice to your face, but then they grade really hard, or they're not really that open, or they want you to talk about a certain subject a certain way, and you're not really allowed to go outside of that. I felt like he was like the most fair, and I just really learned a lot from him. So I feel like you guys have that vibe, and everyone else would be like, oh my God, he's the worst. And I was like, no, he's not. I was just like, he's really cool actually. And he, understands what you're trying to say, or tries to understand it. And so I felt like his grading was like some of the most accurate I got. And I feel like that's you guys. And maybe people who aren't okay with the truth, or aren't okay with like bluntness, wouldn't like you guys. But the right people, I think, will be like, oh, I totally get where they're coming from. And they're actually helping me by their bluntness and honesty, because that's in short supply nowadays. A lot of people will just say what other people want to hear. A lot of people will just say whatever they have to do to get ahead. And it takes more work to like honestly like take something in and genuinely give the honest truth. It's easier just to lie to someone and be like, it's fine, it's good. So I feel like a lot of people are intimidated by you. They see you as a little bit of not a threat, but as someone who, like I said, can see right through them. So people who with an unintegrated kind of image of self might not react well, but I feel like people who do have that will love that about you. So we got winter's dream gestation period. So far we have spring and summer energy. So maybe you guys have some winter astrology signs. So in my opinion, that kind of starts with Scorpio. Then we have Sagittarius, of course, for you guys. Then we have Capricorn and Aquarius and Pisces. And so then we went into the spring sign. So your chart might be in those sections as well. So depending on what is in your astrology chart, you might have a lot of placements in those sections of the chart, spring and winter. We got the crossing, initiation, and horned cactus. So yeah, I feel like people might think you're a little prickly at first. They might think you're a little hard to get to know, or I don't even feel like you're hard to get to know. I feel like you guys are that group that you'd be so friendly and talkative once someone gets to know you, but you're no BS. You're not gonna like tell someone everything's fine when it's not. You're not gonna blow smoke up someone's, behind. You're going to be very blunt and like honest and truthful, but at the same time I feel like you are very open-minded, and I feel like you are not gonna like judge someone for their appearance or for random things about them. You're genuinely gonna take them as they are. But it's like people might just at first be like, oh, this person's not very nice, or I don't even want to talk to them, like they just look mean or something like that. But in actuality, like they think you're judgmental, but they're the ones judging you, and you guys are super open-minded. And I really think a lot of you guys might have a strong Scorpio placement as well, because I'm getting Scorpio vibes with your penetrative energy, where you can really see through to someone's core. And I think that teacher was a Scorpio. I could be wrong, but he keeps coming up in my mind. But yeah, a lot of you guys have that Scorpio kind of penetrative, seeing through someone. And that's why a lot of people get triggered by Scorpios. They don't want to be on the receiving end of that, because Scorpios can say some crazy stuff, because Scorpios will say the truth that no one else wanted to mention, everyone else was hiding, and it's Scorpio's literal job to be that Pluto energy and like throw off the cover up and just reveal everything, that's why Scorpio rules the genitals, because it's like hidden and it's like the parts that no one else gets to see. And Scorpio's like bring it all out. So everything that everyone's trying to hide, Scorpio is all about that. And so I feel like you guys just have that vibe where people know, they're like, you might even have had people be like, why are you looking at me? Or stop looking at me. Because I feel like when you gaze at someone, it's like an intimidating gaze, like you're seeing through them. And so people do think of you as like, they get intimidated by you guys. Like I feel like people, there are some people that are scared of you guys, like genuinely probably scared of you guys. And they might even tell your friends like, I'm scared of Emma. Like she seems kind of nice, but I'm scared of her. How do you hang out with her? And they might be like, Emma's like the nicest person ever. But yeah, I feel like at first people are just definitely going to have some strong reactions to you guys. Let's see what else we get from this deck. We got the root girl, the disowned self, and many masks. Wow, and that's reversed. The authentic self. So exactly, you guys are seeing past people's masks down to their authentic truth. I think you guys are also very authentic yourselves. I don't think you put on a lot of masks or pretend a lot. I think you guys are very honest with the world. And I think you guys, that's why it irritates you when someone's lying to you or pretending. You're like, I don't have time for this, because all Scorpio placements that I know hate the lies and they just hate them. And they'll just say whatever just to say it. They will totally reveal someone's deepest secret just because they can't stand that tension when they know someone's lying and they know, you know, everyone's covering it up. They can't stand that. So I feel like you guys are that person that you might even bring up something awkward, like, or point out to someone something that they're like kind of embarrassed about, or, and they might not like you because of that. Or just even if you're not doing that, interacting with someone, just the way you look at them, they're like, oh my God, they see this. They can tell that I blah, blah, blah. They can tell that I just cheated on my boyfriend or something like that. Like they can just, you just have that perceptive gaze. So let's get some of these cards for pile 4. We got coming apart. How do people perceive pile 4, Spirit? How do people perceive pile 4? Field of Dreams, Dry Desert, One Ring Circus, and Coming Apart. And let's see what this is. Peaks of Joy. So I feel like some of you guys have been through a lot, or you guys have had a difficult life, or you just come off very resilient, like you have been through a lot, like you have experienced things. And I feel like people can just tell that about you. They can tell that it's kind of not your first rodeo. You're not like this like naive kind of little, you know, first time looking around at things, first time experiencing something, trusting the whole world. Like that's not your vibe or your energy. You seem a little bit older and wiser in many ways. Even though I feel like you have this fresh spring energy, it's almost like that's your choice to act that way. It's your choice to take things in. And I feel like you take things very intensely. I feel like you go through things and really feel it. You really kind of take it in. You're not afraid of the world. And I feel the way a lot of people are. I'm getting that some of you guys feel like you are very spiritually ascended, and I don't know if I mentioned this in this pile before, but some of you guys might have been like shamans or spiritual leaders in another lifetime. I just feel like there's like this major intimidation coming through, and it reminds me of like if you were, you know, hanging out with your friends and suddenly like a nun showed up, or suddenly a spiritual leader showed up. You would be a little surprised, and you would definitely probably stop whatever you were doing. If you were into some mischief, you would stop. I feel like you have that natural gravitas around you where people are like, oh my God, like don't come in, the teacher's coming. Don't like stop doing that, the teacher just came in. So you have this kind of mastery quality, like dominant quality to you guys. And a lot of people, again, like I said, they're not going to react well, but to me, like I feel like if someone's not hiding anything, then what's wrong with this energy? I think you guys might have been in situations where you were around a lot of dysfunction, or you grew up with it, or you've seen it at some point in your life. You've seen dysfunctional behavior, and that's why you don't have a lot of patience or tolerance for it. And that's why you're just like wanting to live your life very honestly and wanting other people around you to also be very honest. So people can kind of tell that even though they don't know you that well. Let's get more cards for pile 4. How do people perceive pile 4 when they first come around them? Boundaries. Yes, you guys have strong boundaries. Definitely. And I feel like some of you guys have, I'm not going to lie, a little bit of a vibe of like pain or having been through stuff. And strength. Yes, you're very strong. You guys come off like you have gotten through whatever it was and you're so resilient. You come out on the other side as like this powerhouse. I feel like a lot of people are very intrigued with you, and the people that are up to the challenge are going to be looking for someone like you who's so honest, who's so truthful, who sees things as they are and doesn't lie to people. I think the real honest people and the best kind of people are going to actually gravitate towards you because of this. They're going to be or want to be around other people who are living in authenticity, but people who might not be living a life of authenticity and living their most honest version of themselves definitely might take badly to this and might take it very personally and not react well to it. But yeah, I think you guys really are a powerful energy. I think a lot of people are very intrigued and want to know more about you. I do think you guys sometimes play things a little close to the vest. So you're not going to share everything with everyone. And so there's a lot of people who are curious about what does this person have going on. You know, they're intrigued, they're interested, but they don't feel like they can know more, but they wish they could. So yeah, you guys are a super strong pile. This is a really powerful energy. So if you guys want more clarity on this situation, then check out the link in my description for Keen and get a one-on-one reading with one of their advisors. That's such an amazing deal they're running, and they have such a powerful team of advisors over there. So you definitely don't want to miss it. Like I said, link is in my description for that. So thank you for letting me tune into it, pile 4. I really hope it resonated. Let me know if it did in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. So let me know your thoughts, and make sure to hit the thumbs up button, give this reading a like if it resonated, and make sure to subscribe and have notifications on so you can find out as soon as I post. And if you guys like this reading, then you'll definitely want to check out my Patreon where I post all my additional readings. I just posted the extended version to What Did They Think of You just a couple of days ago, and right before that I posted about what the gossip is about you, and we are also going to be doing what are your dreams trying to tell you very soon. So there's a ton of content already up and a ton of content going up. So definitely subscribe if you want access to all of those readings. You'll get access to all of it. So yeah, check out link in my description for my Patreon. And if you guys want a private reading with me, you can also get that. You can get a one-on-one session with me at the link in my description for briarrosetarot.com. We can get you scheduled in and get a one-on-one tarot session where I focus exclusively on you and whatever issue you want to bring up. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will be back very soon for another reading. I'm sending you guys lots of love and light, and I will see you guys then. Take care. Bye.